Do you know where Laura is or what? She just asked me to take her to the airport, and she be there tomorrow. Now we have to find Laura and find my daughter. Do you think the general is behind all this? Short right. I promised my wife she'd find me. Take advantage now. Laura doesn't know who you are. You're a soldier with a very clear objective: to take down Ismail. Casillas Dynasty. Tomorrow at 9:08 a.m. Central. Finally, Laura escaped from Ismail's house, and Paco was in charge of taking her to the airport. But he told Paco not to tell Ismail anything until the next day. So she arrived at the airport with Chakota, but they would have to make a stopover since Chakota would first have to visit the general. Once he arrived with the general, he quickly showed him the remains he had taken from the grave where his son was supposedly located. He told him they were dog bones. And why did he? He would have lied. That Ophelia had confessed to him that she was in charge of making said tomb. The general told him that he simply did it to protect his mental health, since he was very fragile at the time he found him, and for this reason he didn't want to tell him how the events of his son's supposed death happened. Then the general indicated that Ismail had disposed of his body by submerging it in acid, so that there would be no evidence and he wouldn't have anywhere to mourn his son, which triggered Chakota's anger towards Ismail and the Casillas again, so that now he is preparing to use Laura and the little saint again to get to Ismail. Ismail noticed the absence of Laura and his daughter, and he quickly ordered his men to search the entire house for her. Then Granados indicated that he had seen her previous nights with Chakota Casillas at the hotel, which this infuriated Ismail, as he initially thought it was a lie from Granados. But seeing Granadis's seriousness, he became genuinely worried. He even began to think that Granados might be hurting her, perhaps even holding her captive. However, Granados indicated that she seemed very comfortable with him, and that it appeared they were more than just friends. Then Paco told Ismail that he was the one who took her to the airport. So now Ismail is mobilizing all his men to search for Laura high and low, as he suspects Chakota might do something to her. Meanwhile, the general instructed Chakota to eliminate Ismail at all costs. Then the general called Chakota and instructed him that he should use his profit from the sale of the 25,000 kilos to hire men and acquire more weapons to eliminate Ismail once and for all. The general is deeply offended by everything Ismail has done to him. He made him look like a fool in front of his family and the president. Now he seeks revenge and wants to eliminate him completely. But what the general understands is that he shouldn't use one of Ismail's relatives to find him. So the possibility of kidnapping Laura and her daughter is out of the question for General Cifuentes. But tomorrow, in episode 45 of the Casillas Dynasty, Chakota finally decides to go to Colombia with Laura and her daughter. He has a clear mission to find Ismail, so he will once again use Laura to get to Ismail. Meanwhile, Isidro manages to access the hotel's security camera footage and shows Ismail via his tablet. The moment Laura meets Chakota, and they even hug. Diana's trip to Colombia will be a mission for Ismail, and she must help him find Laura and Chakat. Then, upon arriving in Colombia, Laura finally decides to surrender to Chakat. So don't miss tomorrow's episode 45 of the